I think there's definitely the essence of Top Gun to be found in here. Hi, my name's Hugh and welcome back to my desk. Today I'm going to go over some of my favourite features of Blackstar's brand new Amp 2 pedal and 100 watt power amplifier. The team that designed this unit clearly understand what guitarists and working guitarists need. This pedal would be equally comfortable in the studio, on the stage, as a fly rig, as your main rig. It's really quite amazing. First impressions out of the box is that the build is really quite luxurious, beautiful. It's got this heavy aluminium case, these low profile buttons for the foot switches, really responsive for that tap tempo. This beautiful little LED screen, and you'll see there it's got quite a high resolution, so you get that lovely feedback when you turn the dials. Not to mention the dials have a lovely bit of resistance to them, so they feel quite high quality. You've also got these great little micro toggle switches which are on the surface. It means there's no menu diving. The connectivity on this pedal is really quite incredible, and they've thought of a lot, particularly for traveling musicians. For example, the power supply runs on an IEC or a jug plug, so that means there's no dicky little power adapters that might break. It's just a jug plug straight into the back, and it can run in a 50 or a 60 hertz zone on either 100 volts or 240 volts. So you can go from Australia to America and still use the same rig. But if this is not your main rig and you want to incorporate it into your pedal board, you can also run, it's got two 9-volt 500 milliamp sockets in the back, which means that you can just run it from your pedal power, probably off 2 plugs. Still, on this connectivity, there's an input and an output on the back, as well as an effects loop. So you could run this on your pedal board, guitar in, then run your pedal board in the series, in the effects loop, before running to the amplifier at the end. So you could use this as your input and final output stage with your regular pedal board, but I'm actually questioning what pedals you might need outside of this unit as well. I quickly mentioned at the start that this pedal is also a 100 watt power amp, and that's switchable too. You can go from 1 watt to 20 watts to 100 watts with this micro toggle here, and that gives you the ability to change the power required depending on the size of your room or the situation that you're in. You can then run either from the 8 ohm or the 16 ohm outputs on the back to your speaker cabinet. Otherwise, you can run direct into the PA from this pedal as well, either via the balanced XLR out at the back, or you can just use a normal 1/4 inch stereo guitar jack. Blackstar utilize a program called Cabrig, and this gives you an emulation of the type of guitar cabinet you're using, whether it's a single 12 or 4 10s for example, also the type of mic that you're using to mic up that Cabrig, and the type of room it's in. So you can select the absolute vibe to your desires of the sound that you get from this pedal when running direct in, either for recording via the USB in the back, or just running that balanced output straight into the PA. You can also select the transient response characteristics of the valves that this unit might be emulating, right from a 6L6 to an EL34 and an EL84. So that will determine how much sort of slew and how much attack you get on your transients while playing this. Really great for the minutiae and the feel of your playing. I quickly mentioned earlier, these toggle switches on the front, incredible. It means there's no menu diving. It means that if you want a boost, a drive, or a fuzz, you just hit the dial and you can select that, and then your drive pedal takes on one of those characteristics. Same for the amplifier style. There's 3 amp styles here. You've got a USA, which I imagine emulates like a Fender style amp, a UK, which I imagine also emulates like a Marshall style amp, and then this classic. And when we listen to that, the classic seems to emulate either a Vox-ish amp, or I think the classic might actually emulate a Blackstar amp. And Blackstar amplifiers have their own sound. The saturation seems to have this beautiful sponginess and this cushiness. Blackstar amps are their own voice, and I really, really enjoy that sound. So on the surface here, quick access, you've got an overdrive section or an overdrive pedal, and you can just turn that on and off here with the button. You've got a modulation section, so that's like chorus, tremolo and flange. Again, you can adjust the parameters and turn that on and off with the button. You've got a lovely delay section, and I really think the analog delay sound on this pedal is outstanding. Again, you select that and you can muck around with it from there. And the reverb has a room reverb, a spring reverb and a plate reverb, and it's got lots of drip for that authentic sound. The tap delay is lovely and convenient as well, so when you're playing live and your drummer starts to slow down a bit, or maybe even speeds up if they're a bit excited, you can then follow along as well at a whim. So I think that features that really stand out for me are its size. I think this is even more convenient than a Kemper modeler. The power situation, being able to fly all around the world and not worry, you just use the same rig. The sound is outstanding. The layout, the usability of it, the user interface is really, really convenient and really, really quick, simple, no fuss, no muss to use. The build quality is really incredible. It's got this lovely solid feel, and the buttons and the dials feel like they're going to last quite a while. And finally, the connectivity. You can either just run guitar in straight to your PA, or guitar in and then USB into your computer for recording, or you could run an effects loop and run your normal pedal board through this pedal, and you have guitar in and then just use the amplifier stage. You could use it as a DI, you could power a quad box with it. Like, this is an amplifier. This is either a 1 watt, a 20 watt, or a 100 watt amplifier, and it sounds brilliant. The size, the connectivity, and the sound of this pedal are really outstanding, and I think you should check it out for yourself. So head across to the Muso's Corner website, that's www.musoscorner.com.au, or just go into the shop and check it out for yourself. It's huge. There's heaps in there. I'm Hugh, and like always, happy music making.